Yeah, thanks for reigniting my desire to continue to keep this podcast alive. We'll see. It's in limbo now.
Yes, yeah, I'm glad I could be here, and this has been so fun, and we're flowing so good. It's just like, it's a whole new thing. I've never been on a podcast before. This is my first podcast. So,
wow.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Wow. Yeah, thank you for inviting me, and I'm glad that we'll see what flows forward with you and things, but yeah, I know you had mentioned that maybe this might be your last one, and if you weren't sure what was gonna kind of go moving forward, and but so we just kind of, like we were saying, coming from a place of inspiration, letting things flow, like what feels right, you'll know how to move forward best.
It is still so much easier than it used to be, and it is still a little challenging, especially when it comes to things that affect people who are paying me money, to totally give myself like the grace to follow that flow. Like, yeah, I mean, even right after I initially announced that the podcast would be slowing down and possibly wrapping up, I was like, ooh, cringe. Like, I don't know if that's true yet. Maybe I should have waited until I had more clarity on that before communicating that to people who probably don't care that much, right? But who I want to maintain like a relatively clear, not rigid, but structured relationship with, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's part of my platform is I want to model authenticity, and I definitely I want to model like integrated masculine feminine authenticity, like what that looks like for me. And I definitely feel it tends to feel edgier to model my authentic feminine, because at least from what I see, that tends to be less modeled, less accepted in the professional world. So yeah, thanks for helping me do that.
Yes, of course. I don't even know what I'm doing, but I'm so happy to be a part of that and to be here, and we're in this together, we're
that's what you're doing, is you're being in it with me. Yeah,
that's like the most valuable thing I guess any of us can give to each other too, is like a reminder that you're not alone in this. Like, I'm here, we're here. Like, that is really it. That's all I crave to hear sometimes. It's like we got this.
Yeah. So I'm here with you. Yeah.
I feel it. We're here together. Sometimes I feel like my inspirational stuff can be like, I get worried it's like too much or it's annoying almost, where it's like I feel like I'm too optimistic or too hopeful, where people are like, okay, like they're like so jaded, and I'm just like, woo, like, but I'm not always
toxic
like
positivity alert.
But not, no though, because I definitely feel a good balance of realism of like, okay, shit's fucked up, like, but also like we gotta keep the morale high, like we gotta keep our spirits up, and but yeah, be grounded and balanced, and yeah, because there is such a thing as toxic positivity for sure. We can be overlooking and to bypass some very real parts of the human experience with like, oh, but it's gonna be fine, just be hopeful. It's like, that's not really helpful in moments of crisis. It's like, no, you gotta sit with people in their shit, and that's how you be there. It's not like, oh, it's gonna be better, it's gonna be okay. Like, yeah, people mean well when they say stuff like that, but it's like, that person does not need to hear that right now. Like, they just need to know you're there, right? It's like, I'm here, we're gonna get through this, it's okay. So full circle to that.
And those messages of it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay, don't worry about it. It's, they give this, at least what I hear in those, is this sense of let's move on, right? Let's be somewhere other than where you are right now, right? Which is the opposite of that message of I'm here with you, right?
Yeah.
I'm willing to sit in this with you, or witness you in it, while you're here, to the extent that I can hold space, to the extent that I have resources for that.
Yeah. And not avoid, it feels like displacing something to somewhere else or someone else, where it's like really that's, yeah, just be present with it, like what we were talking about earlier. It's just being able to sit with it and be uncomfortable, get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and that's definitely not normal. We can make it more fun. I was gonna say it's not fun, but then I'm like, oh, but let's make it fun, and it's not. Yeah, it's not normal. No, I mean, how often do you see that? Meanwhile, though, humans are out here loving like the most messed up murder mystery, like horror film stuff. I'm like, it's always intrigued me. I'm like, people willingly put themselves through trauma. Well, and then like I've looked into the psychology of it, because I'm like, I want to understand this. Like, why are people falling asleep to tragic stories of murder? Like I've heard of people that like just like put on a podcast about death and stuff. I'm like, what? Like I don't get that, because I'll have nightmares. Like I'm so sensitive to that stuff. But there is like a desensitization almost, and normalization of certain things. But then when it comes to very personal, gory, it's like people are very uncomfortable with that, but then are more comfortable with like blood and guts and horror in a way that's like an art form, because it's not real.
Right.
But the real stuff is very almost too real. It's like this. Do
you think that's because like that people are attracted to those things because like of a subconscious desire to resolve their own dissonance?
Yeah, maybe. And also I think it distracts them from their own chaos and troubles, where it's like, well, this is way worse than what I'm going through, where it's like they can experience this intensity and adrenaline in a safe environment where they know they're not going to be hurt. So in a way, I think it is working through maybe something unconsciously, subconsciously, because most things in life tend to be unconscious, subconscious, like understanding the psyche and like psychology, but merging the understanding mentally with like spirit and spirituality and like the body and physical health. So it's like so many different layers to why people do what they do. It's like physiologically too, for a certain, like, yeah, the rush of adrenaline, and it's like there's all these complex things that happen in the body for like every moment that goes on. And then also there's like a psychological explanation. There's a spiritual explanation, maybe, that humans are attracted to the darkness, or in quotes darkness, or whatever is not accepted, or like in the light of like holy it's just like, this is gross. Okay, some part of me likes that. Why is that? Because it's a part of me. It's part of the human experience. Is this kind of icky, sticky gremlin energy? I feel like, yeah, we all have an inner child, right? We have an inner adult, we have an inner gremlin. Like we all have like these different parts and pieces, and they're attracted to different things, and they have different needs. And I think there is like like the whole idea of like an angel and a demon. Like there's like, but they're not, they need, I don't know. So yeah, I feel like, and it's not so black and white, this or that, but I do feel it's interesting that people willingly. But it like I said, physiologically what it does to the brain and body, like it's a rush. It's like a drug almost, mildly. But oh my gosh, I don't watch horror films for that reason. I get nightmares. I'm really sensitive, and I'll have I have very intense, vivid dreams like every night. Like I wake up and it's like, whoa, like I could write that down. That could be a whole film, like very, very vivid, intense like stories. But so yeah, I avoid stuff that's going to trigger more chaos and conflict in my mental state. But I, in the midst of what one could call maybe a manic state that I was in, I was like highly emotional, very like, I don't know what to do with myself. I'm like, and I had driven by a theater, and I remember there was a film that I had wanted to see. Like I saw a trailer to the last time I went and saw a movie, and it was Nosferatu. Have you heard of that?
The vampire movie?
Yeah, it's like the original horror film. Okay. Apparently. It's like one of the first like grandfather of horror, like scary films or something, which I didn't know. Like it's very old, but they did a remake of it. But it was so funny. I was on the phone with a friend, kind of like very emotionally distressed. I was going through a lot, and I found that there was going to be a showing of it in like 5 minutes, like right by the one that I was there. I was like, all right, it's time. Let's go. I was like, I'm confronting this. Like I felt like I needed, when I saw the trailer even, I was like, I remember like kind of being like, oh, I'm not even scared. This is stupid. Like with my sister, I was like, whatever. It doesn't have power over me. I'm not afraid. And but some part of me felt like, okay, I want to. I feel like I need to confront that. Like there's something in there that I need to experience. And so I, on a whim, just like went in by myself to go watch this film, and I had an extremely like spiritual, psychological, very intense experience with this film. I just felt like I needed to confront the darkness or that gross, scary thing, and feel like I was empowered by it, where I was like, okay, you cannot touch me, you cannot hurt me, and that's kind of the message of the film too, was this woman, her name's Ellen also, which was interesting. I was like, I'm like Ellie and Ellen, and the things that she was saying and parts of her personality and the way that her experiences were, I felt like I saw myself in her in ways too, where I was like, whoa, okay, like I haven't heard many people say and explain things in this way, but she is. And it had to do with like, she unknowingly like made a contract or a connection with this like dark entity that she didn't realize she was doing it. She just like called out for support or help into the spirit realm. She was like, please, like angels, somebody, anybody, like please offer me comfort. But somehow in her state of distress of seeking comfort, she received connection through this like very dark, scary vampire man, and the film is very kind of taboo in that it touches on a lot of kind of primal human things with like merging sexuality and like sensual energy with like this like dark, morbid horror kind of energy. Like it was very it's supposed to make you feel very uncomfortable and also like turn on something in your brain and body too, that like is like the way the film was made, the visuals, the sounds, like it was very, I mean, everything's very intentional. Every single thing in a film is like made that way for a reason. But it just like went into these like very like, oh, like this is crossing the boundary of like, this is way not, most people would cringe at this, like this is not, for most people to be witnessing, but I like sat there by myself and I confronted it while feeling like the main character in it in ways because of what she had experienced and what she was going through. And then with what was going on in my life at the time, I was paralleling it to that, and it felt like it was just like I felt like I needed to confront that energy in a way that felt safe. And in the lesson in 2 of the film, in so many ways, was like a confrontation of her with this energy, and also the merging of it in a way where it's like we can't combat and fight that shadow, that darkness, that thing that seems so outside of us, that's so like so far gone and so bad, when like in some way it's somehow connected to us. Like there's a part of us that is so that gremlin gross thing, it's like we have that within us. And so to be able to integrate and understand first and integrate whatever this is, so that we're a whole being that's in tune with our light aspects, our shadow aspects, and find to just know that it's all needed to be a part of the human experience. Like without all of these awful things, like would we really truly know peace? And I know it's like the yin and yang kind of playing off of that, where it's like one without the other. Like it's like the human experience is such a multitude of so many things, but to, as much as we can, play with these different energies to try to understand what they need or what they but I don't know, there is, when it comes to the spiritual realms too, of like entities and beings, and the idea of like hungry ghosts. I don't know if you've heard of that, but there's like these energies or beings that feed off of humans in different ways, feed off their fear. So fear being a big thing that people who believe in like spirits or ghosts or energies that are not loving and benevolent, that are like malevolent spirits, they feed off of humans' fear and disconnect and division, and it's all theory, right? We can't prove anything for certain, but I do feel that there is a lot, that we don't know, that we can't know for certain, but that I've experienced in ways that feels like, okay, there's something here that is beyond reason and logic, that is in the spirit realms. What's really going on here? It's hard to really say and know for sure, but I think it's just like being like listening and being receptive and asking questions. So kind of with what we were talking in the first episode, like how can I get curious about what this is instead of running in fear, right? And so like when we can confront things without the fear and maybe feel the fear, but then still feel empowered, yeah, I feel like that's very liberating. And I think that's maybe why people gravitate towards these like horrific things, is to find safety in some weird way, knowing that they're okay even despite the horrors of the world. Although I do think there's negative implications too, because then I think when you're so used to hearing about how messed up people are and these like murder mystery things, like you're more prone to thinking that person down like that you're seeing is potentially mildly insane and could kill you. Where it's like, oh, I'm gonna assume the worst about people because I know how messed up it can get. Whereas like I'm very trusting and open to people where it's like I don't assume the worst. I'd like to see them in their light and their highest and try to pull that out of them. Whereas maybe other people don't interact with that as much. I want to be able to like, you kind of hold the standard up where like, okay, like maybe most people in your life saw you as like this thing, but I'm choosing this moment to find some kind of connection or trust with the higher part of that person, because there is a light, there's a spark of intelligence and spirit and goodness within every person. It might be smaller in some than others, but it is there. I do believe that some people have just repressed it for so long or weren't nurtured in that they've become monsters in a way, or maybe there's just like some sort of split between the mind and spirit and body where, I mean, it's so complicated why people are what they are and do what they do, but as much as we can, trying to see each other in the light and pull that out of each other, I think is so important. And yeah, that's that was a lot of words. How do I can't, like, I can talk without breathing for like a long time. It's wild. Like it's not every day I'm talking about this stuff, you know. It's it feels good to share, and also definitely feels nerve-wracking because it's like some people could think I sound crazy, you know, but like so whatever.
Sounds like those people have some crazy in them that wants to be met. I think it's funny how crazy is so often a word that people have charge around. Something that people tend to either overly embrace or totally reject.
Yeah, that word definitely is triggering to hear. It feels so invalidating where it's like, oh, it's just dismissive. It's like there's that thing is just, you know, it's yeah, not a fan of that word. If I've ever been crazy, ooh, you want to see crazy? You call me crazy and see what happens then. Like, oh, it's so invalidating. And in general, like with, not just with women, but there's a long history of women being diagnosed or like lobotomized at one point even for having very reasonable responses to their environment and hormonal issues or emotional distress, that they were called crazy and put in a crazy house for just being a human that was in a system or environment that was not made no sense at all. You know, it's like burn them at the stake, put them in, lock them away in a crazy home for not making sense to the mind, to the reason and logic of the masculine, the patriarchy, the systems that were not, were actually very oppressive to the feminine spirit and the goddess. Because at one point, like, the goddess was revered and worshipped in different temples, and then Christianity is very masculine, patriarchal based in its idea of God and how the dogma and things that go into some Catholicism when it came through, or just that's a whole thing in itself with that. But with kind of the conflict between Christians and pagans and this, so much of the old world was like wiped clean and burnt and destroyed and just like deprivated, like totally like not respected. It was destroyed in so many ways. So like worshiping the feminine and the goddess was like so taboo, and like there were repercussions for that. Even like you would be like, you're a problem, you need to be you know, you can't fit within the realms of what was modern religion and society. And so many women have been silenced and not had voices, and have been locked away and made to feel crazy, right? And so that's when I hear that word, that's what I think of and feel is like all this history of how invalidating and not curious that word is. It's like, well, why is she that way? Like, oh my, she was just crazy. It's like, well, no, but why was she like that? Like, what is going on inside of her? You know, how can we Oh, yeah, that does trigger a fire in me when I hear that word. So it's even I did that to myself where, like, I'm like, oh, someone will think I'm crazy. It's like, oh, see, I just did that. I brought that word up. I said that because I don't want to be, okay, well, that's interesting. Yeah, because I don't want to feel, I guess, like, rejected or not understood, where it's like, I want to be understood. I want to be respected. I want to be heard and known in a way that's,
I have a question.
Yes.
It might be a little pokey.
Let's just poke.
It's just a thorn that's been I've been more present with for the past couple of years increasingly. So do you think that patriarchal systems are inevitably oppressive to women?
I don't think they need to be. I think that the way humans actualize a lot of systems is faulty or flawed, and that we somehow, I shouldn't say we, I'm not, I don't know, but I mean, even myself, yes, like we aren't perfect in the way that we, like there's an idea, right? And then the way that we put it into practice might not be completely aligned with the idea, or that like, yeah, I don't think it needs to be inherently oppressive. I think that there's something, ideally it's like, how can we merge the matriarch and patriarch so that it's like a balance and cohesion between the two, and it's not just like one or the other that's leading the show entirely. But there's something beautiful about if it's a just king, a just ruler, a just masculine that is aligned with a higher power bigger than himself, that is such a powerful energy to lead something in, and that if it is supportive and nourishing and connected and in integrity, like that's really actually powerful for the feminine to be able to relax into letting this thing that she trusts lead, and that the patriarchy can be a beautiful thing if practiced properly, because there is, I just think the way that it's been practiced has not been not been what it could be, I guess.
A very immature masculine.
Ooh, and speaking
and feminine.
Yeah, no, it's there's a book that really helped me, King, Warrior, Magician, Lover. Have you read that?
I haven't, but I got Brandon a copy.
Oh my goodness, it is one of the best books I've ever read, honestly. Like, it helped click things in my brain in ways that I've never experienced with another book. Like, I understood my own inner masculine, myself more. I understood men in my life, my father, my previous partners, relationships, like my brother. Like, it helped me see the world as a whole and the collective and individual men like in such a new way, and that it merges like psychology and spirituality, and like it has so much going on in it that really just shines a light on like a lot of history and what is like the initiation from boyhood into manhood, and so many have not experienced that. And so when like a man hasn't, going back to, we're talking about the inner child, there's like that little boy, the immature aspect of someone, if it hasn't grown up in certain ways, or wasn't taught certain things, or wasn't initiated, it's going to act out in ways to get a feeling of control and power. And that's where a lot of systems in place and men in power are still just like little boys inside who are wanting to feel this void filled through having respect and power and acting out of this need for external validation. And so it's, but yeah, the King, Warrior, Magician, Lover is incredible. It's a very wonderful, insightful book that I highly recommend to all peoples.
Maybe I'll read that next. I've been having, kind of like what you were talking about at the end of our other episode. I've been having a hard time. Well, I have been reading more. I fell off a lot for a few years. I have been reading more recently, and I've been gradually accepting that heavier material, it's a lot easier for me to get through like a whole book if I listen to. Headier material.
Yes.
I can, and it's been really like, oh cool, this part of me is still here. to read books that are more like stories, like not necessarily like maybe fiction, or just books that are told in more of a lighter like story way. I've been really gratified to find that I can still finish books.
Yay! Yes, that's such a good feeling when you finish a book. It's like, oh. And I love underlining and like highlighting things in books too, like the books that are more informative. Like that's where that physical copy coming in place. Like with that one I was talking about specifically, I like that feeling of like emphasizing things that are like this sticks out, or this is important. Like remember this, lock it in your brain. You know, like that's such a satisfying thing, having the book in hand. Also being able to listen is so nice because you absorb it in different ways. It's definitely time and place for both of those ways of ingesting information. But yeah, it's such a good feeling to like, new information, perspectives, and awareness, and balance between, the masculine and feminine. Yeah, kind of. I feel like that keeps coming up. That's a theme lately in general. It's like, and that's starts within. Like, how do we do that with ourselves, for ourselves, and then ideally like envision that in the outside world, in the planet at large. Like, how can these systems be more cohesive for the earth, the planet, the creatures on it, all people, what industries and large scale operations are going to be sustainable and healthy and good for the people and the planet, and the things that are making money right now are not. It's like there's so much money backing up these industries that are problematic in so many ways, and then the industries that are trying to get up and coming have a lot working against them because the systems that are in place want to keep their the way they have things, and the people that have money want to keep their money, and it's like it's so frustrating to witness. And I also have so much hope where I'm like, it's like miracle type stuff where it's like anything is possible. Like there's a whole system of laws and checks and balances and systems and rules and things in place that when you know how to work within that realm, there are people who are very knowledgeable about that are in that system doing everything they can to shift things for a better earth. And just remembering that and trusting that, and everyone's playing their part in what's happening. Some people are in the more logistical law realms, and some people are, in the more spiritual, psychological, there's just so many different realms to contribute to the evolution and expansion of humanity. And we all play a part in different ways every day. Little things every day, even like ripple out to making things better for this planet.
What are you working on in Ellie's life right now?
I'm working on being present mostly. I feel like I've had a history of being very in my mind, very overactive, and like just complicating things or wanting to so lately the things coming up is like, okay, Ellie, be present, slow down, savor, enjoy, like be where you are, and have that vision and intention for the future, but be flexible. Know that it's not going to always go how you want it to go. And to be in my creative energy, so as much as I can, like, create and explore my inner world through paint, through, collaging, through music, through dance, through movement, and really being in my unique essence and energy and body, and exploring that and sharing that in new ways. And but yeah, while doing all that, like being easier on myself too, because some part of me feels like I should be further along, or I should be doing more, I should be have more out in the world, but I know that like I'm trusting my own timing and my intuition of like when things are the right time to share and to come out. And we're closing up winter right now, and I can feel it in me, like this building excitement for spring and for the earth coming alive again, and getting out into the world more and sharing, things I've been working on more with the public and the peoples. And I've been kind of incubating for some time. I feel like really going deep within my unconscious, subconscious, right? I feel like my shadow aspects, like really looking at myself through the reflections in my relationships, and just coming to understand why I am who I am and do what I do, and finding just acceptance and a peace in where I am, and knowing that I'm at my own pace, and I don't need to be anywhere other than where I am, which is, it's an active practice of shifting that story of like more. It's not enough. It's too much. Really sinking into now and breathing into my body and finding peace where I'm at. Yeah.
Are you giving yourself more time to slow down to do that? Like, do you find, like, because I find that that's kind of the general requirement per se of like learning to be more present is slowing down.
Definitely. And that's not my natural wiring at all. I feel like I've been very buzzy my whole life. I feel like I want to ask my spirit animal, it would be a hummingbird. I feel like I'm just like moving so fast all the time in every direction. And but when I can slow down, it does feel almost uncomfortable to slow down because I'm like not used to that. But when I do, the way that I find peace most is sitting in the sunshine, like being outside, just laying there, sitting there, listening to the birds, and just being present with my environment, with the natural world, and observing what's around me. But slowing down, definitely, yes, because like you miss so much when you're moving so fast. And even sometimes in my communication, I know that I get excited and I can say so much so fast, but is it being received as easily if I'm, if I slow down? Maybe people would hear me better. And I get ahead of myself where I'm like, it's like, okay, slow down. That's I'm still working on that, definitely, because my baseline is like very fast, and learning to to make time, to really designate time for myself to just exist and be, and not even create, even sometimes just like lay there and just like not feel like I have to do something.
That is such a mind fuck, to like unlearn the sense of like need to be doing something right now. What should I be doing
this
right now?
What's the next thing? Productivity. Like, what do I do to? Sorry, I should have opened that earlier, but
it's okay.
Cactus
Ellie's
water.
getting drunk.
I am not. Off of cactus water, it's wild prickly pear, super hydration, and rare antioxidants. Not just antioxidants, they're rare apparently. Skin and digestion benefits. Wow, it's good stuff. It's very sweet and nice. Replenish, revive, connect. Ooh, okay, see, I love these words. This is so nice.
They know their market.
Mother Nature provides us everything we need to thrive. Trust and appreciate her magic.
Aww.
Hey, okay, I'm about to sip this. You ready? Here we go.
Yes. You get, okay, between that and the what were you reading earlier? Your protein powder.
No, Kachava. I could start doing some sponsors.
You could do that.
Kachava, like, you guys, for real. Kachava. It's this protein powder, and it's so good. I was sharing it with Rose earlier. I'm like, this stuff tastes good. It's 20 grams of protein. It's got minerals, electrolytes, all of the things that you would want and need in your body. Like, they've got great marketing too. We went to their website. I was reading off of it. I'm like, this is good stuff. Like, reminded me of what I'm drinking. I'm like, but yeah. So nutrition and health is so important and so good, and there's certain things that really like embody, or like the business actually is like trustworthy. There's a lot of like greenwash stuff out there that like says they're it's healthy and good.
The word natural on packaging means nothing.
That's just as true. Yep. So you got to be mindful and do your research, dive deeper about things, because there's always more to discover and learn. But yeah. Would you like to try the cactus water?
I would like to try some. I really hope these people contact me.
Yeah.
We would like to.
I think it says Kali water. Is that what that says? Oh.
That is delicious.
Yeah, it's refreshing. Delicious. It's not as cold as it could be.
I'm going to read the ingredients.
Yeah, it's clean, simple, minimal sugar. Sugar's a kicker. That'll get you. It's sugar is in so much. So avoiding things that cause inflammation. Okay, so inflammation, most disease is because of inflammation in the body, and inflammation is caused by certain things that the body does not absorb or want in it very much. It's like, okay, this is a thing that doesn't doesn't flow in the system well. It creates like friction in some way. But yeah, minimizing inflammation is important. And yeah, in America, the food here is not, it's very different than in Europe and other places. It's like you look at the ingredients, even just in McDonald's, like the stuff they cook their food in there is so different than here. And like wheat in America is so heavily pesticided. I don't think that's the word, pesticide. There's so much glyphosate in our food, which is, you want to stay away from glyphosate. Glyphosate is not good for the body. And we got in St. Louis, Monsanto now Bayer has a pretty big hand in our world over here. But yeah, I don't know. There's so wheat, yeah, getting organic or sprouted wheat, if you're going to eat wheat, is ideal. Sourdough, love me some sourdough. That's some good stuff. But yeah, and so corn, soy, wheat are very heavily sprayed. So trying to avoid those things is good. And yeah, dairy, being conscious about the dairy you're consuming. A lot of dairy causes inflammation unless it's like sourced well. And but yeah, just being aware of what you're putting in your body, because everything you're putting into yourself is becoming the cells that you are, and then is impacting what you're sharing and putting out. It's an exchange that's happening all the time, and not just with food, but like the media and the songs, the information that you're intaking, you know, everything that you're absorbing is becoming you, and then what you're sharing. So it's so important to be mindful of the things that we're absorbing and releasing and sharing, and having like hygiene for energetic hygiene, and all the forms of yeah.
Input equals output.
It's science. It's let's talk metaphysics and quantum mechanics, and yeah.
There are reasons why the health stats in the United States are so dramatically worse than the vast majority of countries in the world, despite our great economic status. There are hundreds of ingredients, both in foods and cosmetics, that are banned in Europe that are allowed in the United States. You can go to Europe and buy like this, same product. I'm saying that in quotes. Yeah, same product. And I was just looking at something the other day, and this was a product from Canada, but it was like the Canadian Fruit Loops, right? So the difference between Fruit Loops in the United States and Fruit Loops in Canada or Europe. They both sell, we all sell Fruit Loops. We all have Fruit Loops in our stores. But the dyes that are used, the difference between the dyes that are used between the United States and other countries is radically different. They're using natural fruit and vegetable dyes, juices, to dye cereals, candies, whatever else people eat that's dyed, and we're using
things that are proven to cause neurological issues.
Right.
Like, there's so much backing it at this point. Like, how is this still legal and happening? And even now they're changing words on packages to say something else because people are becoming aware that it means this, so they're like shifting the language behind it.
I think it's hilarious. So now they've outlawed kind of red dye number
40.
Red
40, yeah.
But so all companies have at least 2 years to get red dye number 40 out of their products, and for consumable products it's 3 years.
What?
I'm like why? Like, how is this, like, at the point where we've recognized, right, that this is a neurotoxin? We're gonna give these companies more time to...
Is it that hard to come up with a new alternative? Like, really? Like, what the heck?
And in those 2 and 3 years, are these companies going to be responsible for the, like, financially for the negative effects of their products? Are they now open to are they liable legally? Like, right? Like,
they should be, but they haven't been for a long time, and that's a whole... there's a lot of big people that have not been held liable for their the toxins that they've been putting in people's food and water and the air. I mean, there's so much that's been put out, toxins, and that's Hi.
We can get more into this.
Yeah, it's
But I do want to I want to respect your time.
Yeah. No, what time? How much?
3:04.
Okay.
We're after 3 now.
We'll close up pretty shortly, but yeah, there's definitely a lot to be said about everything. It's there's always a healthier alternative though. There are like nowadays there are businesses that are coming out with the things that we're familiar with, but a better version of them. And so it's just as a consumer being as mindful as possible of what we are consuming, doing the research and caring, because also if we boycotted and just stopped giving money to these certain businesses, like they would go out, they wouldn't have any money. So it's almost like the collective has to agree on what we're consenting to. And if we stop consenting to these products and these businesses, then they would not exist anymore. So there has to be, I do say that there has to be a more awareness and education surrounding what is like should be allowed in our bodies, and for the children too, and so many people just aren't educated or informed. And how do we gracefully, like, because I have some clients that I'll clean for, and I see in their house like all of the products that they're using and the things they're eating are just like completely just toxic, and I don't, what's the boundary? I don't want to say something, but also I feel like, man, it's so hard for me to know that your whole entire lifestyle is setting yourself up for problems later in life, or health issues. And it's not preventative care, it's just like doing what's accepted and normal and what's available. And it takes flipping almost your whole life to dive deeper and question what you're using and why and what's there. And but I guess it's like everyone has their own choices and path, but I do feel that I wish that there was just more awareness surrounding ingredients and just the things that we're interacting with and consenting to and allowing in our lives. And I know I feel like we could talk for like so much longer, and I wish we had more time, and maybe we'll just have to like talk some other time. We'll do it.
Do you use the Yuka app?
Yeah, Yucca. Is it Yucca?
Yeah,
Yucca. It's Y-U-K. I think it's Yucca. Y-U-K-A.
I want to shout them.
Yes.
Shout that out.
Yeah. Yucca is
super easy to use, free. You can scan almost any, if not any, food product and cosmetic product, and it will tell you, it will not only give you a rating for how healthy the thing is, but it will break down why it gave you that rating.
Yes.
So like there are food products that it's like, oh, this is only 60 out of 100, and then its reasonings are like there's too much fat and sodium, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm not good, give me the fat. Not worried about the salt. Cool. Like if those are the only reasons, right? So I really like, and it will reference sources. It'll cite studies. So I really like all of that. It's very like comprehensive.
Yes, and it's in your pocket. You can use it at any moment to scan things, so you can be more informed. There we go. Yes.
When you're at the grocery store, like you're picking things out, just get out your phone, scan the barcode. It'll tell you.
Yes. So Y-U-K-A. Cool. I've heard it, yucca. I'm pretty sure it's yucca, but you whatever pronunciation words. It can be whatever you want it to be. It's a Y-U-K-A. So, yes, that's a good tool. And so more tools in the tool belt, right? More resources, more information. Like it's and then simplifying things, just like in the body and the breath, like being present with oneself, going within, exploring your inner realms through different creative outlets and self-expression, and being real with yourself first and foremost, so that you can be real and show up with others and share and offer what you are and what you have, because you have so much value inside of you in different ways. Like we each have so much inherent value and worth and things and pieces of the puzzle for someone else. Like there's a little bit of information that can change someone's whole life. Like I don't remember what it was, Rose, where I'm like, there's different things where I'm like, oh my gosh, this is important. I needed this. Like, thank you. And it's like, now I get to move forward in my life having this new information, and it's going to shift everything moving forward. And so we all have pieces of the puzzle, and you never know what one moment, one conversation, one little tidbit sprinkling of information could do for someone's life. And so keep being you and sharing your unique essence and wisdom, and just playing with it. And what is it? It is life. That's what we're
yeah.
Yes.
Oh. I love it. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much. So happy to be here. Yay.
We will have Ellie's info linked in the show notes so you can check out her books, her art, her social media channels if you want to see more of her conversating live and her post and the really awesome data and information that she posts, because she's not just like talking about this, on the podcast. She actually like lives this in her real life, shares a lot of really great information, and not just like memes that you're like, is this real? But she actually like shares studies and stuff like that's grounded in, I not only have information, but I understand where it's coming from. It's well thought out, in addition to memes.
Yeah, thank you. I was gonna say, I do
memes
have
are
a
great.
meme page. Okay,
nothing wrong with memes.
Yeah, no, but love me some memes. I have whole folders of many files of memes on my phone, so I got the memes. So yeah, on my Instagram I have a link to my meme page specifically. I don't post as many memes on my actual Instagram page, but I have a separate one, and I do source and tag people when I do have like stuff. It's not like I don't make my own original memes. I want to get there eventually, but I do, yeah, you want to source people for their stuff. But nowadays it's so hard because things come from anywhere, everywhere. It's like, how do we trace back like the origin of something, because memes are replicated and redone versions of something anyway. It's like, how do we do anyway? But yeah, memes are important. Love memes, but information grounded in science, psychology, spirituality, all of the good, all that jazz. So yeah, thanks for having me, and for, it's cool to hear myself outside of myself and how you describe, all the things and shout me out and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I said, that's, that's,
this has been the Naturally Rosie podcast.
Woo, yeah.
Until next time, because I feel like there's gonna be a next time now. We'll see.
Yay, yes.
Spend some time outside like Ellie does, basking in the sun.
Sunshine.
Keep laughing.
Feet on the ground. Hug a tree.
Feet on the ground.
Love yourself. You just gotta.
Yeah. Laugh at yourself.
Yeah, I can't take it too seriously. You gotta.
And give yourself some big hugs.
And cry if you need. It's really good to cry.
Yeah.
There's playlists you could look up on Spotify, like songs to make you cry if you're having trouble even, you just.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, sometimes, when you feel like you need to cry, but you can't, like, you gotta just get that poke, right? Where it's like, okay. And crying actually regulates your nervous system. It's like, your body needs it. So, like, just let it out, okay? It's really good to cry and laugh and dance and all of the things that you feel inspired to do.
It's so cool listening to you, because you say things that, like, I often say, like, on the podcast and otherwise. So I'm like, that's so cool.
I love that. Yes, we're synced up. We're here. We're live. We're closing, but we'll come back. I think I'd like to. We got plenty more things we could talk about. And,
get ready.
Yay. Yes. Thank you for listening. And well, you said see you on the other side. Yeah. Or the side is now. Time is now. I don't know, blah, blah, blah. Ending and beginning is hard sometimes, but okay, it's not though. We're gonna just flow naturally, Rosie.